So
You're not
gonna
supposed to ponder that
Are
hardly,
you going to
Dad.
have them wearing prison outfits?
No.
Wow.
They get to be let out. But they love me so much that they come back.
Hello, Miss Kajang. How be ye?
Good, how are you?
Excellent, thank you.
All right.
We getting all that business out of the way?
Yeah.
Super polite. Make sure we're setting a good example for the savages.
Yep. So, hi, this is Scout.
We are savages, are we not?
Yes. Hi, this is Scout.
And William.
From Hypermentilating.
The podcast.
A show that follows life and change.
Through the eyes of a father and daughter.
Join us as we find our way.
Together.
Yeah.
All right.
So...
Do you see, I'm injecting frivolity, Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah? You appreciate that?
Yeah.
I hope the savages do.
So, first topic is, do you think that animals somehow speak to each other, like, in any way?
I think most definitely they do. You?
I think it depends on the animal.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I think there's some that I think maybe... I think it also depends on a species, though, because I think there could be bird groups. I don't think every bird can speak to every bird.
Don't you think when they're singing that that's some form of communication?
Yeah, but I think that it depends on the bird group. I think, okay, think about it in the Hunger Games. You have a mockingjay,
Yeah.
and you have a mockingbird, and they're two completely different things. Obviously, a mockingjay isn't real, but a mockingbird...
Yeah, there's that little technicality there.
A mockingbird can mimic voices, and a mockingjay can mimic hums and sounds. Those are two different ways of communicating, and those are two different ways of passing knowledge. So I don't think that those two birds could communicate verbally. I think because they're so similar, they could communicate with body language, but...
Okay, so first of all, let's try and keep it to, creatures that exist.
Yeah, I know, but that was just an example that I can understand,
but
and you can too.
Yeah, but you can't just, if making stuff up. Like if a Vulcan met a Nigerian, they'd have a hard time having a conversation.
Well, because that's my example. Think a group of birds.
That was mine.
A group
An
of
imaginary space
a group of
alien.
birds. There's so many different species of birds, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different races and humans and languages, and I can't understand Mandarin.
Yeah, so you're saying an eagle can't understand a pigeon.
Right. And a pigeon can't understand a blue jay.
Yeah.
Because...
I don't know about that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I think about it because we, as humans, I can't speak Russian. And I can't understand it to save my life.
But we can still communicate,
through
right?
body language and through signs, which is what I said about body language.
Yeah.
I think that they can communicate maybe through signs with their wings, maybe maybe certain chirps.
So you're
collectively
saying,
they know that 3 chirps means
you're saying
food.
like a hummingbird song would not be understood by a mockingbird, would not be understood by an eagle, etc.
Right.
Well, that's probably true then. I wonder though if there isn't something in the cheeps and the little titters and twitters that is common across all birds in this example, right?
Yeah.
I wonder. Like something to investigate. Like have they deciphered that there's sounds in common with different birds, for example? Because we can probably rule out that birds and tigers can speak the same language.
Right. I think a lot of people think of animals as different, like a tiger is a different race than, say,
well, I think you had it right at the start.
A bird, but I think
Species,
species of animals represent different races and languages.
A bird is a species, right?
Yeah, but within those, there's
a tiger's
also...
a species.
Yeah, but within
then
those,
within those aren't there. I mean, I guess they're subspecies, but not really.
No, I mean a bird is the species.
Yeah, and then within the species, bird.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a proper term, right? But in the species bird, there's eagles and mockingbirds and hummingbirds.
I mean, a bird couldn't understand a spider.
So let's keep it to
I can't speak Russian.
All right, so we'll agree that a bird and a tiger aren't having a chat. So what we're trying to discuss here is whether or not birds can speak to each other, is it?
Animals.
So you do want to know if a bird and a tiger can have a chat?
Well, no, I just mean like any animal. Like any species. I just want to know, do you think that most animal species can talk within their species?
So a bird and a bird, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I do believe that there's communication that goes on I mean, they're pretty much proven that trees talk to each other through their roots and everything now, or plants can, right? There's a form of communication. I mean, if it's just words verbalizing the way we do, or in the case of birds, we'll say it's their song is verbal, then I think so, yes. And I don't know, though, if an eagle could talk to a hummingbird. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious if scientists, because they're always out in the field doing this, have they been able to delineate that birds make 10 or 15, like in humans?
Yeah.
We have the ability to utter at birth something like 50, what are they called, phonemes? I can't remember the word right off the top of my head now. I think it's phonemes. But there's sounds that we can all utter, and then we, through atrophy, if we don't use them, we lose that ability. So there'll be languages we can't speak because we can't make our vocal cords form those noises anymore. But at birth, we could have. And so I would a bird, in this example, to stick with one species, would birds have the ability at birth to all utter 10 sounds, 20 sounds that are common amongst all of them? I'm curious about that.
It's hard to know what, like, we can't know what birds are used to or what their rituals are, you know?
No, but
like,
we can record their sounds.
Yeah.
It's just like we can record human sounds. So not so much words, but like just the ability to go, ah.
Something I've always wondered is, you know, when like a baby bird is first hatched and they cry, like they make these chirpy sounds.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like actual words or if they're just straight up like crying.
I think it'd be the same as a human baby, no?
Yeah.
A human baby just makes noises.
But that's the thing, we don't
the
know.
Beginnings of words. But that's what I'm saying about the phonemes. It's those sounds. Every human child is born with the ability to utter all of the sounds necessary to speak every language. But because you don't speak every language, your vocal cords will grow and shape, and you will lose the ability to make sounds that you could have made at birth because they're no longer necessary.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, does every bird have the ability to make a certain kind of a sound? Like, is there a commonality amongst the bird species? Because they're not that much different. I mean, wings, their structure's the same. They're essentially dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
Because the question, do they communicate? I think that's a really interesting one. I definitely think that animals speak to each other in their way. I really do.
Me too.
You think of wolves howling and letting everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, even if those aren't like straight up words, like that's still communicating. A howl means something.
For sure it is.
Deaf people can't directly speak, but they can sign.
Right.
And that's communicating.
That's communicating.
It's communication. Speaking
doesn't have to be, if we're saying it has to be verbal, then we're making a distinction I don't think is necessary.
Animals are clearly capable of communicating because you think of a dog. A dog, when it's hungry or when a dog needs a walk, they will paw at the door, communicating that they need a walk.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what they're doing.
Or communicating that they're hungry, sitting by their food bowl. Or they're tired and they lay down on their favorite spot on the couch. That's communicating that they're tired. So I think that animals are overall capable of communication. I think that the mystery and the question that everybody wants an answer to is, can they actually speak?
Is it the complex thoughts that they're conveying? It's interesting. I mean, speaking of dogs, for example, or wolves, like they seem much more limited in their ability to communicate orally than birds do, right? Because birds are always yakking and chirping, and they've pretty much determined that there's meaning to it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely speaking on some level, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I wonder if ants got something going on.
Think about it. Like when you see them walking in
they sure communicate.
Yeah. I think that that's the big thing. I think that people need to know the difference between communication and actually verbally speaking. Because I think to a certain extent, communicating is way more important than actually
100%,
speaking
man.
and verbalizing.
100%.
I mean, there's kids that don't talk until they're
100%.
10.
No, 100%.
But they can be, maybe they're the smartest kid in their class. Like, I think it just really depends on, I don't know. I don't know.
I agree 100%. I wrote a
There's a
thing
big
once,
difference.
and it basically melted down to the only words you need to know to communicate, to have a conversation, are hello and goodbye. Because that's really the truth. I mean, you go and you speak to people who don't speak your language, and we have ways of communicating, no question.
Yeah. I mean,
no question.
The thing is, in every country and state and continent in the world, waving is hello.
Yeah.
And waving is goodbye.
Yeah.
And nodding is yes. And shaking your head is no.
Yeah, there's very little that's necessary for humans to communicate, to begin a communication.
Yeah, I mean, it just is.
You just need to want to.
Yeah.
And so I think for the animals, it's probably somewhat similar, just on a less complex level, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. All right.
All right then.
Moving right along to our second topic.
You look at the echo thing I'm bringing in. What do you think?
No.
No?
No. Moving on to our second topic is...
I was trying to save us on special effects costs. Pretty nice of me, eh?
We should start adding special effects stuff.
Like gongs and things. Oh, that's because of one of our segments here. That's what made you think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it take to be a good actor? I was thinking about this because when we were watching Stranger Things, which, buckle up, I was thinking, like, I can only think of 3 genuinely, like, good actors on the show. Hopper, the little girl that plays Holly, is surprisingly good, considering she can conceal her New Zealand accent.
Why?
And
this is going to be just all Stranger Things all the time.
And the guy that plays Vecna.
That was distinctly an eye roller.
Yeah, it was.
I know. I probably earned it.
And
I'm sorry.
And Vecna, like the Jamie Campbell Bower. They are the 3 decent actors on the show.
Henry.
When it doesn't take much to play Vecna.
No, when he's Vecna, he's not really doing a lot of emoting.
No, when he's Henry. When he plays Henry, he is way scarier than when he plays Vecna.
But you don't need to be Stranger Thing in this.
No, but I'm saying that you can tell in that show why those people are better actors. And it's because they're not trying to be more than what they are. Like, if you look, Eleven is trying to be like this dramatic person.
Yeah.
But she didn't speak for the whole first season. And then you look at someone like Hopper.
Yeah.
He's a grumpy cop. And he plays that very well. The little girl, she just has to be a little girl trying to find her way through school. Like, it just, I think
think she's mad hammy, though, too.
I think that everybody has, to a certain extent, can be an actor.
Well, don't we do that every day?
Yeah. It's basically just lying.
Basically, it's lying, yes.
I mean,
it's make-believe.
When
it's
you're
pretending.
growing up and you play, like, games with your siblings, that's acting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
It just, I think it really depends on whether you really want to do it or not. And
can you do it when the camera's rolling? Can you do it on demand?
And I also think it has a lot to do with if you're self-conscious and you're constantly worrying about what you look like on the while the camera's going, I think that would probably mess up a lot, because a lot of acting is emotions and a lot of acting is ugly.
But don't you think a lot of actors and actresses would be incredibly self-conscious, self-aware? I feel like I think
they would, but I think a really good actor isn't. I think a really good actor is self-aware and self-conscious, but I think that during the actual acting, you can't be. There's no room for that.
No, you got to be able to act ugly.
Like, for example, say, take, like, I don't know, like a really good actress. The woman that plays
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. Yeah. And she knows she is, and she's a really great actress. She's good in everything she does.
She's amazing.
In everything she does. And if you pay attention, she's not afraid to be, she's not worried about being ugly.
No,
about,
she's not afraid to be ugly.
If there's a crying scene, she's crying. Yeah. She's not sobbing delicately. Like, she's genuinely crying. And I think that's a big thing in acting, is you can't be worried about looking good during a crying scene or looking good during an angry scene.
No, you have to look whatever it calls for.
You need to be able to convey that feeling. Because think about it. In real life, when you're yelling at someone and when you're, like, mad, you're not worried about, like, looking good.
No.
And being pretty. You are just mad in that moment. And I think that's what acting is. You need to be able to be just like that.
Yeah. For sure. I think you also have to be, it seems to me like every good actor or actress is just playing a version of themselves at the end of the day. Because so many of them, you look at their roles, almost invariably there's a hint of the exact same person in every character they play. Like Meryl Streep's a good example, right?
Yeah.
She plays super varied roles, like they're crazy varied, with accents and backgrounds and the costume and hair and makeup, and she's can look entirely different as far as the character. But she's so distinctive, her features, and also there's something about her that's stabby. Like, there's something about Meryl Streep that you know that she would broach nonsense from no one at any time in her life. Like, that's a woman who would not be afraid to get stabby if it was necessary. Yeah. And that's in every single character she plays. There's this thing that runs underneath all of the acting I've ever seen her do, and it's that. Like, it's this sense of something that's her. It's the essence of what she is. Robert De Niro. Or somebody today, like
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, who's a big actor today that's younger. DiCaprio, he's got that kind of thing. Like, there's always this sense of it's the same guy, even if the role is super varied and there's accents involved and even prosthetics. There's always this undercurrent, and I think that's what makes a good actor, is somebody that can convey honestly, which means being yourself, something that's other than you. So if you're playing a killer, then that's something that's inside you that you're bringing out. If you're playing a hero, that's something that's inside you that you're bringing out. If you're sad in a scene, that's something that's inside you that's bringing it out. So to me, it seems like to be a good actor, the key to it would be that you can do that on demand. You can do that when the scene calls for it. When the cameras are rolling, you can dredge up this emotion on demand.
Yeah.
You think like Stranger Things, those kids, they were kids when they started out. They had no experience, most of them. And so it shows, like, as they've gotten older now, some of them just probably don't have the facility for acting. Yeah, like they just...
You know who's a really, really good actress right now? Mia Goth. She's been in some roles, like, for example, the horror movie she was in. Yeah. She played both main characters in the sequel and the prequel. And there was this one scene in the movie that's very, very powerful. She's auditioning to be, like, a showgirl. And she, like, spazzes out. Like, just screams. And it's gut-wrenching. Like, it's insane how well she does it. And then if you think about it, like, if you go from watching that to then Frankenstein, and how graceful she is in Frankenstein, and how beautiful and peaceful, and, like, it's just...
With a really difficult role, too, because it's so surreal and goofy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is Frankenstein? Like, so I think that she's a great actress, and I think that she's a good actress because she can do everything. She can go from being an angry killer to being a beautiful, soft-spoken, like, princess-type human. So I think that's pretty cool too.
For sure.
I think that's what it takes to be a good actor.
I think it has to be in you, and then you have to be able to bring it out.
Also, have you ever seen, like, if you look at behind-the-scene videos from shows and stuff, like the Vecna guy, there's this one scene in the show where he's, like, on top of Derek and grabbing on him and yelling in his face, and right after the thing's over, and he snaps out of it, and he's like, hey, are you okay? Like, that's talent too.
It is talent.
Being able to snap in and out of it.
For sure. Well, otherwise you'd be a psycho.
Yeah.
Like, some people have trouble with that when they do method acting, right? Where they become the character for the length of the shoot, and so they're running around off screen. There's a famous thing, I forget who it was, a famous older actor was doing a movie with a younger actor, and the younger actor was doing this method stuff, like where you act. So if your character is a goof, you're acting like a goof 24/7 while it's being filmed, right? And the guy says to him, well, how do you do it? How do you do it without, like, they were talking about acting. He says, well, that's what it's called. It's called acting. Like, you don't have to inhabit the person. And I think that's what it is. Like, if a person, it has to be in you, and then you have to be able to do it on demand. I think that's the trick of it, doing it on demand.
Yeah.
Because we can all be sad, and we can all be happy, and we can all be all of these things. So technically all of us should be able to act. But then as soon as the camera rolls, most of us end up making weird, stiff motions and faces, and all of a sudden it's all self-conscious.
You know who another good actress is? One more. Kirsten Dunst. She's very good, I think. Like, she's done so many different roles. Like, one of my favorite movies of hers is she plays like the Queen. Marie Antoinette. It's literally called Marie Antoinette.
Right.
And I think she's really good in that because she portrays it, because the movie is basically it's about Marie Antoinette, but it's trying to show, like, her teenage side because she was only 14.
Yeah.
And she plays that really well about, like, having to be mature but not wanting to be.
Yeah.
And not being able to be.
She did a bunch of those roles.
Yeah, she did.
Where she was a young girl playing sort of a more mature character.
Yeah, the vampire one.
Oh, that was a bit weird.
Yeah,
she was good in that, though.
Yeah, she was.
That raises the point, too, right? Acting is also subjective.
It is.
You like the person's character. Like, I love watching old Paul Newman movies because I just thought the guy was cool.
Yeah.
It was basically, he was playing the exact same dude in every one of them. But there was nuance to it. But, the guy was cool. And so every character he played, no matter if the guy was a drunk, he was kind of a cool drunk. So that's just who you are. Like,
it's also weird because it also has a bit to do with luck. Like, for example, McKenna Grace.
For sure.
When she was from the ages, 8 to 14, she played every young version of every blonde in every movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you fit the role,
whether
you're a good actor, a decent actor, which she is, she's okay.
No,
it has a lot to do with
looks,
luck.
Yeah, because it's subjective.
I mean, if you're
the person who's casting the film thinks you have the right face for it. All right,
exactly. If you're making a movie and a brunette auditions, but it's a blonde role, and she's an amazing actress, it's hard to cast her because she's not a blonde. And then the next person is a decent blonde actress.
So what have we decided here? To be a good actor or actress?
You need to be a good liar and to be able to do different things.
And that has to be in you, and you have to be able to do it on demand.
Yeah.
And luck. There you go.
All right. Moving on to review. And we're talking about Stranger Things. Well, you're probably thinking, you guys just reviewed Stranger Things. No, we reviewed Stranger...
And you'd be right.
We did review Stranger Things, but we just finished, the whole thing.
We were doing, a preparatory review.
Right.
To remind people about the glory of Stranger Things as Stranger Things 5, the finale, was being released.
I can't believe it's over.
Now we are about to talk about the glory of Stranger Things 5.
I think, in the first season, the acting was okay, but I think no one really cared because they were kids and the story was decent, and there was like a couple famous actors, Winona Ryder. Yeah, I think that it was decent
Hopper.
enough. Yeah, Hopper.
He was well known.
I think everybody liked it because it was something new. It hadn't been done before.
Well, it was fun. It had that
It was
80s
fun.
Spielberg
It was
vibe
funny.
going on. Funny, yeah.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it. And I think towards the end, I think most people were glad that it was ending, even though they were kind of sad too, because that was it, no more Stranger Things. But I think that to a certain extent, people understood, like, that has to be it. I mean, they're just going to keep making them over and over.
This is wonderful, your eulogy. You're waxing poetic about Stranger Things. But what about Stranger Things 5?
Right. Stranger Things 5. Okay. When it first started off, I obviously didn't have, like, I was looking forward to watching it. But I was also kind of like, okay, last season, like, it's probably not going to be the greatest. Like, maybe it was rushed or something. But when we watched it, I was very impressed. I was very, I liked it. It quickly became my favorite season, which I think is kind of I think that's kind of like a hear me out kind of.
Oh, boy.
Like, you have to hear me out on this. But I truly think that it's one of the better seasons on the show. Like, out of all 5 seasons, I'd rank it second best season. First season's unmatched. First season's unmatched.
Oh, you said it was your favorite.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, but okay,
it's
I
not
get
the
it.
best
It's not the
season.
best. I get it. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that the new characters that were in it, like Holly, Mike's sister, I think her and Henry, I think that they practically carried the whole show.
I mean,
I truly think that they did, because that was the whole plot of it. And I think that they carried the show. I do.
yeah, they were the linchpins.
And
to it.
I think that they did pretty good, especially for her being like 11 or 12 when she was doing it. She had to cover up her British accent for like...
They added Linda Hamilton doing her usual role. She playing the general, the army general.
Ugh.
That's who she plays now. She plays these older
She
grandmotherly
made me
types who
angry.
are supposed to be hard, tough people. Really scary. She's really living off of Terminator, man. She did Terminator like 600 years ago, and
Yeah,
she's
I
still
know.
living off of it. Yeah, all right, accent.
Yeah.
I mean, Irish. It was, yeah, but
No, but I think that
but
that's...
you're just standing it. You're standing it. You're
No,
not. You're
I'm
not
not.
talking about the plot.
I think
the
that
story.
the plot... Okay, I think the plot... I'm going to rate it. Plot, 8 out of 10.
Right.
7 out of 10, maybe. 7... Okay, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. The twist about the whole, like, wormhole thing,
Oh,
10 out of 10.
Spoiler alert.
10 out of 10.
Oh no,
I thought
that was
And maybe
okay.
not to you, Dad. So, plot twist, 10 out of 10. I loved the plot twist. I thought it was super cool. I thought it was perfect for the show. It really fit the show. Acting, it depends. But overall, like a 6 out of 10, like a 5.5, 6 out of 10. Oh, cinematography. That was probably a 10 out of 10. Like all the segues and the way that they filmed it, it was very easy to follow. I think that was also a 10 out of 10. So I'd say overall, I'd rank the whole show like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, like this season. But I think that if you were to ask anybody, I think that most people would rank it like a 7 out of 10. Because I think that they could have done more with it. I think there was a lot of filler. There was a lot of chit-chat. They spent a lot of time on scenes that I think were powerful and meaningful, but didn't need to be 10 minutes. They could have used that 10 minutes to focus a little more on Erica Sinclair, because this family loves Erica Sinclair. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was a really good season. I think it's a really good show. And I'm sad that it's coming to the end, and I'll forever be angry that they killed Eddie Munson. So yes, there we go.
All right.
Shall we move on?
Well, that's your one side of the story. Then there's the side of the story that it was far too long every episode. It had you said a little bit of filler. It had way too much filler. It had way too many drawn out scenes that were supposed to be all angsty and meaningful and important, and that didn't move the story on at all. The story was super thin. It was not. It was okay, man. If you're a big Stranger Things stan, you got in your 8 episodes, each one of them an hour and a half long, and you got to see all of the 40-year-olds pretending they were 18. It was weird, man. I was super disappointed. Like, I really was. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like Eddie, man. That season with Eddie was awesome. That was the Russian season, right?
Yeah, last season, yeah.
Yeah, season 4.
And
that was a great season, man. That was a really good season. This just felt like they were trying so hard to wrap up all of the stories that they had created and all of the trying to make everything fit together, like slamming that thing in about Will with he made the tunnels with his mind, and it's like, okay, you're just making things up on the spot now, man.
They could have added more to that instead of adding to him and the redheads conversations. I thought him and the redheads conversations were very sweet, but they also could have been shortened from 10 minutes to 2.
They didn't serve any purpose.
And then they could have added those 10 minutes
I get
to
what
the
they're
tunnels.
trying to do, like having him coming out and everything. That's fantastic. I think that's great because it's good to have all kinds of things represented. It's great for kids. The show's made for kids more than it's made for me, but the show's also made for kids who have grown up with it. And
yes,
all of that stuff that's fantastic, but that's not what the show was about.
No.
Like they tried to morph it into this show. I feel like in the last season that was about things that it wasn't about for 4 years, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, this is now it's about everything social.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
no.
It was okay. I think it was really harmed from some not really very good acting, coincidentally, because we were talking about acting there. Like, it's just some of the kids, they just got old. It was weird, man. It's weird that because when did it start? 2015?
I think 2013, but let me double check.
So they're trying to cover 5 years with actors who have aged 10.
2016, so.
Yeah, so the actors have aged 10 years, but they're trying to only cover 5 years of life. Only the problem is that a person changing from 17 to 22, that's a massive change.
Yeah.
And so that, I don't know. I don't want to be smashing it either because I did enjoy it, but it was too long, man.
I really liked... What's something that I like about it is that the cast, it's really sweet to look at their interviews. Like, they've always been super close. Like, when you look at their interviews from when they were 12 and 13, and their interviews from now when 2 of them are parents and...
Which is all awesome, Irish, but it's got nothing to do with Stranger Things 5, the TV show, the episodes, right? Like, that's why I'm kind of saying a lot of the stuff that they included in it, to me, had nothing to do with the vibe of the show for 4 years. And then it changed into this sort of memory lane thing with people. It just was like, whoa.
And I will say,
that's not what you were doing for 4 years.
I wish that they had have made the ending a little bit more sort of like ponderful. Like, they kind of made it so that the ending was...
Ponderful, I like that.
They made it so that the ending was like everything is roses and rainbows and happiness and smiles. But that's not what Stranger Things is. They've always been going through something.
No.
And then they threw in that, 11 might still be alive. But it's like, what? All right. Moving on to our what if. So... What if you lived on a farm?
Yes.
What would your farm look like? And what animals would you have on that farm? Because I think I would have a little more of like a wild farm and not so much like farm animals. Like, I don't think I'd have cows and sheeps. Or chickens. I think I'd probably have... Actually, I'd have chickens. But I'd have the fluffy ones because those are more aesthetically pleasing.
What, are you going to eat them?
No. I'm going to eat their eggs.
All
their
right.
children,
So you're
Dad.
just eating their children?
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine?
I'd have foxes and lots of little bunnies. And one time
You'd have foxes with bunnies and chickens.
Not in the same area. obviously.
Mm-hmm. Where do your foxes live? What did the fox say?
In their own little area. I don't know.
So
You're
you're
not
going to have...
supposed to ponder that
are
hardly,
you going to
Dad.
have them wearing prison outfits?
No.
Wow.
They get to be let out. But they love me so much that they come back.
And they don't eat your fluffy chickens.
No, of course
All
not.
right.
They're all friends. And one time I went to a camp when I was like 10 or 11, and they had this little hut where they had a bunch of baby mice, like baby newborns. And even though they fed them to the snakes, I don't like to think about that. And I like to pretend that they were just there to be pet. So I'm going to have lots of baby snakes, or baby mice and baby bunnies, and that aren't going to get fed to the snakes. And what else would I have? And I'd have lots of border collies and shepherds.
What are you going to do with these mice and bunnies? You understand they procreate quickly,
they'd
right?
be inside.
What are you doing with them all? You're going to have, within a year, you'll have gazillions of mice and bunnies.
That's what the foxes are for, Dad.
So you're breeding these mice and bunnies so your foxes have lots of chow.
Yeah, and also the field snakes.
Well, what kind of a death farm is this?
Dad, it's the circle of life. And what else? And I'd also have I'm
experimenting to see if chewing on a podcast can be heard.
And I'm also going to have it's also going to be a little kind of a fruit farm as well, so I'm going to have lots of fruit patches and also cacao trees, because I'm going to make chocolate to dip my strawberries in once they're freshly grown.
Okay.
And I'm going to have lychee trees, and I'm going to have mango trees, and I'm going to have apple trees, and raspberry bushes, and strawberry bushes, and
unicorns.
And blueberry bushes, and I'm going to have a greenhouse with lots of pretty...
leprechauns.
And I'm going to have a red barn, and inside will be all my fluffy chickens.
Spaceships.
And I'm also going to have peacocks in the barn. And it's going to be a very rustic-looking barn, but inside it's actually quite high-tech, so that my chickens never get bored and they can watch TV if they'd like. Maybe they like to fall asleep to farm sounds.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's my farm.
I don't feel like you thought this through.
I did.
I don't know. I think you're making it up on the spot.
I'm not, honestly. I thought this through fully. So that's it. And if you have any issues with it, you can take it up with...
the podcast directors.
Yeah. With r/podcast.
Whoever they are. With r/podcast, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, boom.
What am I trying to come up with here? A farm?
A farm.
Nah, I don't think I want a fancy farm. Want chickens for sure?
Yeah, because you'd want to eat them.
No, I don't particularly. I would want the eggs.
Yeah, me too. That's why I have chickens.
But there'd probably be some animals hanging around that would be turned into food eventually. Well, it's a farm. I don't know. I don't really want... I want somebody else to work it. I don't want to be doing the work. I want to enjoy... I want to have a good stream ripping through it with some big trees where I can sit.
That's not part of the farm, Dad.
That is part of the farm,
No, it's not.
daughter.
That's not the farm.
This is
I
what
want you
if.
to talk
Oh,
about
now
the
all of a sudden
animals.
there's what if.
The animals
You said
and the
what,
barn.
What kind of a farm would you have? This is
Okay,
the
let
kind
me
of farm.
specify. What would your barn look like, and what kind of animals would you have?
You're
on it?
just changing things up now.
Everybody that listens to the podcast religiously already knows that you want a creek and trees.
My farm would look like a hobbit village. That's what I want. I want a hobbit village farm. That's it.
Okay.
That's what I want. I want everything built into the sides of this and the sides of that, and I want it to have paths and trails, and there'll be animals ripping around, and there's food and water and farming. There you go. And I'll take all of my collected things that I can get together on the regular into town, put up a little stall, and sell them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a farmer.
So you're Gandalf.
Yeah, why not, man? Does Gandalf live in a hobbit village? If he does, then I'm
he did.
Gandalf. Fine. I'll take it.
Okay.
He's cool.
I guess.
Yeah, he's cool.
Well,
who are you? You're Dr. Kevorkian.
I'm Scout.
You're in your farm there, raising hamsters and gerbils for your fox to eat.
Fox? No, foxes, plural.
Yeah,
Fox-eye.
foxes, plural. Yeah, fox-eye. Episode the 61st, Kajan.
Yep. I love you.
I love you too. You were supposed to end it on a what if, not a weirdness.
That was a what if,
Boom.
Dad.
Mic drop.
Oh, good one. Recovery level
Look at you.
impossible.
What did Sophia say the other day? Calculating no.
Oh, yeah.
That made me laugh. All right,
She's a
Irish, I
funny
love
one.
you very much.
I love you too.
Episode 61st.
Yep,
We'll
next time.
see you next time.
I love you.
I love you.